All right, go for it.
Good morning, everyone. It's V, the Grill Economist, with my main man, CJ, and we're bringing you the news and all the important information important to you. Check us out, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at The Rogue Money. Rogue Money Facebook, Rogue Money YouTube, Steam, at every single podcasting app, Note to Humanity, and Rogue Money on Apple News. Also, check out our sponsors, remaincalm.net. Guys, here's the deal. Here's the deal. The cash machine is in. The automatic ATM, known as the market, is running full tilt. Cryptos are hot. You want to get in, you don't know how. Well, you need some capital to play. If you want to, if you got to pay to play, baby. You want to get that done? Go to remaincalm.net. Go to remaincalm.net. These guys get you up to $600,000 unsecured. And let me tell you this is not some investment advice or strategy advice or whatnot. But let me tell you what some people are doing. Okay, let me tell you what some people are doing. Some people are actually getting these unsecured loans. They're using it for investments and allowing those investments to not only pay down their loans, but to return a massive profit at the same time. Check it out, remaincalm.net. Maybe your credit is shot and you can't get those loans. Well, these guys could fix it for you. Yeah, go to there, remaincalm.net. Get yourself a new financial future. Hit that reset button, remaincalm.net. With that being said, also check out thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io. Learn how to trade, learn how to use these wallets, how to set it up, what exchanges to use, and we have the trading room called Watch Us Trade. Check it out. Watch Us Trade with C and Cowboy. These guys will show you exactly how to trade. The trade calls are awesome. People have been doing very well, and you will be rock and rolling, especially the run up on cryptos that is happening now. Don't wait. Don't wait for Bitcoin to go back to $20,000 and $25,000 to jump in. Don't wait for Litecoin to go to $1,000. Don't wait. You get in when it's low. You get in when it's low. You get in when there's fear. And that's how you make the killing. And with that being said, Siege. Oh yeah, thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io. With that being said, brother, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, V. Good morning. Doing great. Just started my second cup of coffee, getting things warmed up for the day. It's a busy schedule today, V. Very
Yeah,
busy
what do you
schedule,
got
but
going on today, man? Got a
that's
lot
a
of crap
good
going.
thing. Yeah. So later on today, we're going to be doing an interview with a new crypto blockchain solutions company, and so we're going to be
Nice.
discussing it with them. So we're going to be doing that, and then V and I at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, 11 a.m. And I'm not sure when Dave will release it, but V and I are going to be jumping on with Dave on X22 Spotlight, and I imagine he'll probably release it like maybe Friday somewhere in there. So that's
Awesome.
always a lot of fun to spend that hour with Dave and
It really
go
is.
back and forth, and he always asks great questions,
Yeah.
never scripted. We don't. We take pride. We don't ask for the questions in advance. We just kind of roll with it because that's loud and proud, baby.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. It's always fun with Dave at X22, and so it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So, where do you want to begin, my man? Where do
So
you
real
want to
quick,
begin?
yeah, real quick before
Yeah.
we jump into the topics, it really looks like the wheels are falling off regarding this entire staged event in Florida, V, and obviously
Go
we
ahead, man.
specifically know why. And when you look at the amount of social pressure, the amount of anxiety that the media is hyping up, the amount of discontent, it is completely
The
shi
hyperventilating.
the hyperventilation. They have completely flipped any type of narrative around about anything, right? About the collusion between the DNC and the CIA to the entire unmasking of Trump. Not only that, but they also flipped the narrative away from it's no longer the Democratic National Party or convention. It's the do nothing uh, do nothing party, because that's all they do. So they're going to fail completely on any type of immigration reform, and they were taking a lot of public pressure from that. So, and what I mean by wheels falling off of this, so not only do we look at some of the characters that played their role very well
Right.
in they're in Florida as far as potential ties directly to FBI regarding their former families, either parents associated with it. And there's been conflicting reports coming out, and I'm going to wait to see exactly, because there's a lot of false intel that's coming out right now.
Sure.
But there's been some pictures circulating. The primary person that's taken to the media right now is this gentleman that has, for the most part, has spent his whole life, wanting to be in the spotlight. He's been aired regarding this surfer incident that occurred. He started doing interviews during the shooting as it was occurring, interviewing students during that time period. I mean, just so many inconsistencies that are coming out. And now we learn that the family of
the kid's going to be a white helmet in Syria pretty soon.
Probably. But then also now there's this tie to this large money that this family has, that Cruz's family.
Yeah,
I guess in the tune of like close to $1 million that they're trying to determine who's going to, inherit that money. And, I do a lot of work, in the autism community. So it's very interesting to find out this boy's been troubled his whole life. He has a younger brother that's in poor health and everything else. So where did this money come from? Exactly what's going on? And again, I imagine here pretty soon, and there's a lot of information that's coming out right now, that this will be directly tied to the media, and then wanting to hype this up. The conclusion by far is that I'm not saying that something didn't happen, but it's really more like a staged event to distract from everything else that's going on right now.
The only thing I needed to see was that young kid, Goggins, whatever the heck the kid's name is. You see this kid, he was in that California shooting, and he's given an interview, right? This supposed shooting in California. Then all of a sudden, voila, this same kid pops up, talking about how bad Donald Trump is and how great the FBI is, and he shouldn't blame the FBI, and the FBI, the greatest people in the world. The same kid. Okay? 2 different shootings in 2 different parts of the country, in opposite ends of the coast. One's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. This same kid, what is this? This kid has a magnet. He has a mass shooting magnet attached to him that he just magically appears when mass shootings occur. You're being gamed. You're being played. This is similar to the stupid white helmets. Okay? The same thing. Crisis actors. It's a psyop. And CJ nailed it. Where the hell is his family getting $1 million from? For what? How? Who's the entity that's supplying that? And why did the FBI know this kid, knowing he was trouble? And it's pretty interesting also. One of the posts that QAnon, there he is. There's that kid. What's his name? That guy, the kid. This stupid little beta male over here. This androgynous cockboy. This androgynous soy boy that has the mass shooting magnet. Wherever there's a mass shooting with a phantom AR-15 or AR-15s. Because an AR-15, CJ, is the easiest gun to put in your pants. Right, in fact, I prefer having an AR-15 in my pants rather than my 9mm.
David Hogg.
That's it, Hogg. David Hogg. In fact, I prefer having an RPG in my pants than having a small Glock 17 in my pants. That's the next thing. It's going to be an RPG because they want you to believe this phantom story and this David Hogg, whose dad coincidentally is an FBI agent. Wow, just coincidence there. Who's been caught on camera reciting lines before even going live, asking if his makeup is okay, stumbling and being coached, videos of him being coached to say lines. This kid, this event, this scenario is foisted upon the American public as if it's real. This is BS. No one's buying it. 17 kids supposedly died. I don't know what the actual number is. Do you? Have they printed all 17 names? Have they interviewed all 17 parents? And why the hell are these quote unquote survivors? Did you see this like 2 days ago? Survivors of the mass shooting are partying with NBC News officials. Did you see that?
I did not see that. Oh, yes, I did. The photos being released. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
photos being released. Let me ask you a question. If you were involved in a mass shooting, the next thing you're going to be doing is partying it up like rock stars? Is that the next thing you're going to be doing? Or you're going to be kind of traumatized? Huh? And look at this picture of this soy boy Hogg, David Hogg, whose dad is in the FBI. Look at this soy boy, this androgynous future cuck of America right here, right? Look at his eyes. He's already on psychotropics. And it's pretty interesting to note also, folks, that you had QAnon. QAnon has said that certain kids with certain personalities, with certain mental acuities and deficiencies, okay, can not only be brainwashed readily and easily, but the activation of a kill program can be done using their cell phone. They use the cell phone to zap and do what's called a hyper frequency, where that frequency is broadcasted at a certain hertz that they can trigger a kill program right in their brain. These kids could walk in, literally think they're in a friggin' video game and start shooting up the place, and then lose complete memory of how exactly the events happened. All they know is that they did it, and this was being told to them. This is the story. This is the narrative. And whatever happened to that witness, Siege, who said, "Yeah, I ran into the kid in the hallway. This Cruz character, this Nicholas Cruz character. I ran into him, and he had a confused and dazed look. And she said, I thought it was going to be you who did this." And he was confused because he didn't have a gun on him. All the while, gunshots are being rung across on the other side of the school. Okay? Look at this. Here's proof David Hogg went to Redondo High School in California where they had a school shooting. Okay?
Well, real quick, B, regarding this, and because this has been on numerous sites, reporting this, the only hesitation about reporting it just from the Twitter account that it's coming from, this Laguna Beach Antifa, because they have been known, particular in the past, to draw attention to this as far as false intel. Now, in saying that, I think they're also trying to disconnect any association with Cruz, because there were pictures circulating with him with Antifa stuff. So interesting enough, there's another search from this high school where this event occurs, and it doesn't even show what's his name again? David Hogg. David Hogg. It doesn't even show him listed as a student. So it's showing, in fact, that he graduated a year ago from this high school in California. B. So what exactly is going on?
You're getting played, folks, like a fiddle. Stay asleep, sheep. Not for the people that ardently follow this program. They're not asleep. They're awake. They're very educated. Some of the smartest people in the room. But I'm talking about those who fall into this false narrative. The Sandy Hook thing. Adam Lanza, 80-pound soaking wet little soy boy cuck boy, was able to be Rambo and shoot up the place. And they'll have you believe again an AR-15. And why is it an AR-15? Well, it's simple, easy. You change the pin on an AR-15, you got yourself an M4 carbine. You can go toe-to-toe with federal authorities. They don't want you to do that. They just want you to have a little 22 LR with a 5-round magazine clip. That's it. That's all they want you to have, if that. And then they're going to switch from that to BB guns. Yeah. Well, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And people need to understand the cause of this problem is not an AR-15, it's SSRI. Serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Psychotropic drugs. Unreal.
Yeah, so get ready, because there are massive marches, protests that are going to start. Probably George Soros funded, going around the country, starting this weekend.
Did you see that androgynous little soy girl, the little androgynous soy girl with her shaved head, screaming about stopping AR-15s and gun violence, and we need to do more? I mean, how about posting more gun-free zone signs on every single millimeter of a school wall? How about putting gun-free zones on every single school? I mean, big signs. Just how about huge billboards outside of a school saying "gun-free zone, come in here"? Maybe that would deter. Because as soon as an insane maniac sees gun-free zone, he runs the other way. He said, "Oh no! Oh my God! I have a gun on me. Let me not go in there and shoot up the school. Let me go across the street to the Burger King. Maybe I'll try my luck over there." It's like drug-free zone. They see drug-free zone, and every drug dealer goes running. You know how many New York City schools have that symbol, drug-free zone, and drug deals are done right there on the playground? Drug dealers are able to pass the drugs right through the fence separating the playground from the students, and the students are able to pay the drug dealers cash right through the fence. You stupid idiot libtards, you morons, you teachers union idiots, that has caused us to spend roughly near $10,000 per student, refuses to spend just a few bucks to guarantee their protection, and that protection doesn't come with gun laws, you freaking morons. It comes with gun proliferation. How about we have a real conversation about concealed carry for teachers? How about if we could afford $10,000 per student on a federal side, if we're spending damn near $600 billion on education, creating the worst educational class of citizens in the entire civilized world, abject failures in math and science, but they can name you 54 genders, CJ. They don't know shit from Shinola. They don't know trigonometry, physics, calculus. They don't know any of these. They're terrible in algebra. They suck when it comes to the classical works of literature. They don't know any of these things. But they can show you how to put a condom on a cucumber. They can tell you there's 54 genders, maybe 72 genders. Who knows? There's a new one being created every week. They can tell you all about that. They can tell you that Wakanda, a fictional country in the movie Black Panther, is actually a real place. They can point that out for you in a map. They'll point to the state of Wyoming and say that's Wakanda. It's in Africa. They're educated in that. So now they want to protest guns. It's about time. The shenanigans need to stop. The shenanigans need to stop. It's about time men, alpha males, step in and establish order. And if it means we got to cull a few of these libtard weaklings in the process, then so be it. I'm not advocating physical violence. I'm advocating force. The type of force that establishes order. Hey, knock it off, you dummy. Get your ass in place and shut the hell up before I knock your teeth out. That kind of force. A nice, firm promise of threat, which usually backs these little cucks down. That's what needs to happen. Anyway, I'm fuming, Siege.
Yeah, I mean, all this efforts, and we're getting breaking news right now, the real time, that the Secret Service have responded to a suspicious vehicle near the White House. They have shut down one of the streets that's there to inspect what this vehicle is. And I'm not sure if you've heard this story.
There was an alert early, very early in I think this was this is what's the date today? Today's 21st. Yeah, this is early in the morning. And I think at 1:51 a.m. in the morning, I think it was, that QAnon posted this. Gun found by U.S. Secret Service was an intercept we provided. This is not a game. Protect code went live. Code signals clean. We are moving up the timetable. Q. And now this comes out. Interesting that the motorcade driver detained by Secret Service after gun discovered. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So who in their right mind reports to work? You know, they're supposed to be driving one of the vehicles that I believe the press was going to be in to follow the administration. So in a security sweep that they traditionally do, he's quote unquote he forgot to remove his bag that contained his firearm, and that's when the Secret Service intervened, detained him, and I believe that they replaced every driver in the motorcade. You know, as far as ones that had been cleared. So again, you know, now we have Q kind of alerting to that. Hey, you know what? We're aware of this, and then today this car. There's no doubt, V, that we're witnessing a timetable try to be increased. So it's just an amazing time right now. What's going on? I think that we do need to pray for the safety of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah,
we truly
ask all of you to pray.
There's behind the scenes. There's a lot going on right now, V.
Yep. If anybody's tuning into this and you've been living your whole life with your head shoved firmly up your sphincter, I will tell you this. Okay, I will tell you this. Yeah, we are at war. We're at full scale, complete, total war. We are at war with the deep state. The war is real. There have been casualties. People have died. There have been arrests. There have been all these false flags. There have been. I mean, this is an exciting. This is a crazy time to be alive. Okay, it's a crazy time to be alive. In the midst of all this, you know what you need to do? I'll tell you what you need to do. In the midst of all this, you need to keep your head smart. Okay? And I need you, all of you that are listening in, need to understand this. Okay, I'm very serious what I'm about to say. There's not going to be a market crash tomorrow. I need you to tune out anybody who says there's an imminent crash of the market. Not going to happen. Not now. Not now. Remember what I said. Okay, remember where the march goes. Remember the play that's being done. Okay, we are way long. Way long. Okay, so understand this. All right. Number two, what you need to understand is you need to keep your head clear. You need to be able to think critically and continue to progress and amass as much resources and wealth as you can, because this is, again, folks, a reprieve. The good guys are winning. Otherwise, all these things that we've been talking about, discussing for many years now would not be coming to the surface if it were not so. If it were not so. Okay? So, that being said, prayers of protection over the president. Is he perfect? No. But he's the best damn hope we have right now. You understand? He's the best damn hope. And the entire team, we need to pray for the good guys. We need to, whoever he or that group QAnon is, you keep them in prayer too. Okay? Because it's real, folks. Shit's real.
Anyway, it is real indeed. And why it's real is because now we're seeing some of the top people in the former, CIA, John Brennan is in some serious legal trouble, V, in regards to the testimony that he provided to Congress, to the Senate, of what he specifically knew about the investigation of Trump.
Yep, exactly. There's no doubt that panic is rapidly setting in amongst the principal players of the neo-leftist Obama-Clinton Democrat crime cabal that has largely been consigned to watching impotently from the sidelines. As a central pillar of their plot to frame and take down President Donald J. Trump, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax has now begun to crash down on top of them. At the heart of this Obama-Clinton Democrat, FBI, DOJ, CIA, FISA court cabal is the originator, the douchebag extraordinaire of the Russia collusion hoax himself, the deepest deep state denizen of the bunch, the former CIA director and Islamist apologist and jihadi sycophant John Brennan. And as our country's Russian collusion hoax master, General John Brennan has good reason to be worried. Best known for indulging Obama's most evil compulsions. As Obama's second-term CIA chief, Brennan was just freshly minted as, look at this, CJ, he's now an NBC News contributor. He's a contributor now to nothing but crap news that nobody
watches. Isn't that
watches.
amazing? You go from the CIA to the MSM.
Jeez, you think there's a correlation there? You know, like people that are in charge of the FDA, and then all of a sudden they get done with the FDA and they go work for the respective drug companies of all the drugs they were blue rubber stamping. Okay, Brennan is the freshly minted NBC shill under the title Senior National Security and Intelligence Analyst. Okay. There's nothing about intelligence and analysis that goes with Brennan. That's an oxymoron. It is obvious to anyone near Brennan that he is now bitter, acrimonious, hellbent on malicious retribution. So the only thing this douchebag could do, with no power that he has left, is to go to the Nothing But Crap News Network, Nothing But Crap News, NBC, then on the Nothing But Crap Network, and then bitch. His only recourse is to bitch and hovel. You're going to get yours, Brennan. You're going to get yours very soon. Okay? And likely the Obama-Clinton coup plotter and the most to fear should President Trump and the newly inspired, freshly fumigated DOJ actually perform its constitutional duty and prosecute these manipulative Obama-Clinton gangsters. Thanks to the unflappable courage of the House Intelligence Committee chairman and the astute stalwart truth seeker Devin Nunes, John Brennan's legal jeopardy is real. And the most immediate of all, the Obama-Clinton sedition mechanics. Investigative journalist Paul Sperry broke the news last week that Nunes is initiating, listen to this, folks. He's initiating an investigation into Brennan's central and leading role in promoting and leaking the dirty dossier in a manic effort to smear Donald Trump with any and every means at Brennan's disposal. Just consider the import of this proposition, given that Brennan was the director of the CIA. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it, CJ? It reminds me of Operation Ajax.
Yep. Bingo.
1953 in Iran, when Mohammad Mossadegh, Time Magazine's Person of the Year, kicked out the communists and the Soviets right out of Iran, and was lauded and applauded and lampooned with roses and bouquets of and adulations of praise. Okay, and then what happened? Right? He decided to keep the oil revenues of Iran strictly for Iranians and not for BP or Exxon. That is the unpardonable sin. And what do they do? Operation Ajax, CIA section chief Kermit Roosevelt, the great-grandson of Theodore Roosevelt. Kermit Roosevelt goes to Tehran and initiates the takedown and the coup of Mohammad Mossadegh. How? A smear campaign was the first. Then after that, a smear campaign spreading false fake news, which is the hallmark of the clowns in America, aka the CIA, aka the cocaine import agency. Okay. After the smear campaign of fake news against Mohammad Mossadegh, a very, very secular Muslim, a very, this is when Iran was, you go to Iran, you have beautiful Persian girls running around in miniskirts. I mean, that was the time, brother. Right?
Roger that. Absolutely.
Right. So then after that, they had false flags one after the other. And then eventually the Mossadegh was deposed, all his cabinet was killed. He himself fled and lived and died in exile in France. And then we put in the Shah of Iran, starting the most brutal regime in Iranian history. Okay, the Shah of Iran. They created the Savak, which is their version of the East German Stasi, and it was hell. It was hell. And then eventually, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The Ayatollah Khomeini and the Islamic Revolution began. So Britain is taking a playbook from Operation Ajax. It is a coup. What is it? Is sedition? It is treason. Caesar, what is the sentence for treason?
Death.
That's right.
Death. Yes.
Brennan, I hope they take you, and after they kick you really hard with a steel-toed boot right in your balls, what's left of your little 2 raisinets you got there, buddy, I want them to line you up and shoot you right in the middle of the chest, not the head. You don't deserve to die a painless death, Brennan. You deserve to die the worst. You're scum. You're absolute scum. Anyway, Siege, let's cover one more topic.
Yeah, this kind of ties it together, V, and I read it today, and
go for it.
You know, the author of this article is exactly right. Is it Tom Luongo?
Yeah, we got to get Tom on. He's a great writer, a great mind. He writes for Zero Hedge, Russia Insider, Sputnik, a couple other places.
Yeah, so the title of his article is Russiagate Ends with a Bang, you know, not a whimper. And basically what Tom does through his article kind of maps out, you know, the fact that when you think of everything that's occurred, you know, the rigging of the election, the abuse of power, that it's much bigger than just, you know, any type of individual. The fact is that the abuse of power, these things that have occurred the past several years, is just truly just amazing, and it's went on for years. V. It
tremendous.
You know, it truly has.
Yeah.
And this kind of ties our conversation together in regards to the, you know, the shadows over Parkland. You know, specifically, you know, when Mueller launched his information, there's a lot of people that are speculating the entire shooting was a massive draw to get people plugged into their televisions to be watching all this information, and then boom, what happens? You know, these indictments come out that literally prove absolutely nothing other than collusion between the Clintons and the deep state.
Mm-hmm.
So it really absolutely, you know, achieves nothing for them. So again, you know, a coincidence too far. There comes a point when the coincidences are too numerous. The narcissism that too many blatant for people to excuse. Here we are grieving for the dead in Florida, having to be screech at the clueless, hyper emotional gun control advocates, and still processing the magnitude of the FBI's incompetence, which it's actually proven that we know this took place. The FBI was alerted, remember, back in September regarding this, and they did absolutely nothing. It isn't the product of a Soviet propaganda campaign, but most people are willing to go along out of a sense of fairness. All Mueller had to do after a year and a half to the Democrats haranguing us with Trump's malfeasance was prove it, which actually he did not. So, you know, it's a great article, you know, maps out the laziness of power that's occurred. The fact that we're still having this conversation, you know, here we are 15 post months of election. And they're still putting up this battle. I mean, when can will they ever grow up to, you know, to establish anything to run on, you know, in 2020? Probably not. But yeah, so for our listeners, you know, go check this article out. You can find it over at tomluongo.me, and we will work to get Tom on so he can you know, break this down for us, because he touches on some very important points here, V.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely right. And meanwhile, in the land of adults, Chinese yuan continues to make further inroads into Africa. This is from our buddy London Paul over on theseriousreport.com. And yet a further signal the growing adoption of the Chinese yuan as an international currency and the further de-dollarization. We know that the Namibian commercial bank, Bank Windhoek, has commenced the trading of Chinese yuan nationwide in an effort to boost businesses' transactions with China and further extension of China's growing presence in the African continent, and the intention to further develop the One Belt, One Road initiative across the region. And further developments over the last 2 years, more Namibian commercial banks, Standard Bank. I mean, this is huge. All Massive. This is happening because these idiots. You see, this is the problem, man. You know, when you look at Mueller's strategy. You look at the strategy of the deep state. It's the same as Hillary Clinton. They don't think they can lose, and they are people that have no talent. There are people that are not that smart. There are people whose IQs. Okay, if I ever wanted to commit suicide, you know what I would do?
What's that be?
I would climb up to Hillary Clinton's ego, and then I will jump down to her IQ.
Oh, nice.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I would do to kill myself. I would climb to John Brennan's ego and jump down to his IQ. That would kill me. Okay? That would absolutely kill me. And that's what the deep state is. They don't think they can lose. They think they can keep doing the same old stupid thing that they've always done, and they'll get the same results. The game's changed. The game's changed.
Yeah,
and that's all I got to say about that, Siege.
Yep, absolutely. The timetable's definitely been sped up in terms of what the Chinese are doing, what the U.S. is doing to try to to counter that movement. But it's too late. I mean, when you look at the the One Belt One Road development, the amount of
I want to cover this one thing real quick. This is from the Duran.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. That's hilarious.
U.S., Japan, India, Australia aim to counter China in a new strategy. Oh, the Western mind simply doesn't get it. The Western mind does not get how these ancient Eastern civilizations move. Let me explain something to you guys. I'm going to show you how the Duran is reporting something, and I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to fail. The U.S., Japan, and India and Australia have been meeting and discussing the creation of a common infrastructure in order to potentially develop a new Indo-Pacific strategy designed to counter the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative.
Ooh.
The Indians are so far having their heads shoved up. I don't know what's wrong with that guy Modi. The Indians are so damn deluded, they have no freaking clue. India's future and success is being a productive partner in the One Belt, One Road initiative, or India could sit on the sidelines with their thumbs up their butts eating curry. That's all there is to it. Okay, that's all there is to it. The Chinese Belt and Road Initiative is a massive program that can involve up to 1/3 of the global capital, 60% of the world's population. It's more than 1/3. It's over 50% of the GDP. Real talk, as my man Dex would say. Real talk, real numbers. It's an initiative that has received opposition of India as part of the road traverses Kashmir, which is occupied by Pakistan. Okay, so it's over a disputed territory with Pakistan. Okay. U.S. Defense Secretary speaking to the Senate Armed Services Committee in reference to the new Afghan-centric South Asia strategy, Mattis, no one nation should put itself into position of dictating such a project. I'm face palming myself, CJ. I'm face palming myself. Mad Dog, go back to reading Socrates. Let me explain something to you. Let the gorilla explain to you. Let the gorilla pet the mad dog and say, Mad Dog, calm it down. Take it down a notch. Let me explain something here. No one nation should put itself into a position of dictating such a project. Really? What one nation has been dictating all sorts of spelunking events all throughout the Middle East and throughout the world in the last 50 years, CJ? What one nation's that? What's the name of that nation, CJ?
I don't know. Would that happen to be the United States of America?
Oh, I think so. What one nation has been dictating overthrow of various governments throughout the world, CJ? What nation is that?
Would it happen to be the USA?
What one nation in 1971 decided to pull its currency away from the gold standard that affected the entire global economy? What one nation was that? That project? Who led that project?
Let me think through this real quick. I'm just going to say the USA.
Oh, I think you're right. Oh, let me ask you one more question. What one project? What one nation who's put itself in such a power that it can dictate a project like the petrodollar. Who could do that?
Let's see. Maybe the USA.
You don't say. That's exactly right. Listen to these idiots. He told legislators, in a globalized world, there are many belts and many roads, and no one nation should put itself into a position of dictating one belt, one road. I'm face palming myself again. James Mattis, Mad Dog. It's called One Belt, One Road. That means all those that are involved. And it's not one nation. It's 70 nations that are involved in the project. Okay, 70 nations that are involved in the project of this One Belt, One Road. So when we say, e pluribus unum, out of many one, does that mean that one is dictating to many? No, it's just a saying, damn it. It's just a marketing glove. And define globalized world. Because the globalized world, quote unquote, that I'm used to, CJ, living in the last several decades of my life, has been a unipolar world. Globalized and globalization is a euphemism for a unipolar world. It's euphemism for Anglo-American power structure. Okay? So there's no one country dictating anything here. It's multiple countries. It's 70 countries. And this is how I know this whole initiative is going to fail. See, they're playing on India's insecure aspirations. See, India is a unique proposition. You got some beautiful places that are well developed, and then the rest of you got some huge swaths of areas that are just shitholes. Okay? Shitholes. They have an aspiration to be great. But India is really not a country. Indians know this. Okay? It's really not a country. It's a it's a country, but of many nations. India has many regions. You go to southern India. I'll give you an example. Okay, you go to the southern tip of India. I think you have a few states. You have Karnataka, which is where the city of Bangalore is located, and I think they just recently changed the name to Mangalore or whatever. Anyway. Then you have Kerala, you have Tamil Nadu, you have Uttar Pradesh. You have that's just the southern states. And guess what? Every single one of those states have their own identity, their own language, their own culture, their own traditions, their own customs. And I just gave you 3 small states. It is a country of nations. You want to talk about fractured? So they have this regional. Okay, they're not homogenous like the Chinese. The Indians are not homogenous like the Chinese. Okay, so they have this regional aspiration to control the seas, to be a part of this meritocracy world, to be more modernized. Well, China's giving India that option, but they don't like the fact that the road runs through Kashmir. They don't like the fact that they had a border dispute back in 1963 that they're still beefing over. They're still butthurt about. So if the Indians decide, hey, you know what, we're gonna throw our hats in with the Americans, well, there's a problem here. Japan, okay, and the U.S. is thinking that India, the fickle partner that India is, and at the end of the day, India will go along with the One Belt, One Road initiative. They're going to do what's best for them. India plays the middle all the time. That's just the way they are. You can't rely on them.
Hold that thought.
So the U.S. is going to have a rude awakening, Siege.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. That where India is, and look at your screen. What I just posted.
Let me see. One way or another, you're going to get pulled in. See, I think this is a ploy in order to get military technology or whatnot out of the Americans. Because if the Americans think that India, Japan, and Australia is going to go along with this whole entire thing of opposing China, I got another thing coming to you. Number one, all the countries that I just mentioned are members of the AIIB, the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, which is basically the counter of the IMF. Okay, and again, Iran and India have inked 9 agreements, including a leasing project. So this is huge, right? It's huge. We have detailed discussions to further deepen our cooperation between India and Iran, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, after fruitful talks with President Hassan Rouhani. So this is the thing that the U.S. doesn't get. So what's India? What are they going to do? They're exercising with the Indians one way, and the Indians like, yes, 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 we will exercise with you, doing the military exercises. We will do it, yes. And on the other hand, they're shaking hands and cutting deals with the Iranians. So the are the U.S. going to sanction India now?
I think India is ready for some freedom. India is ready
Belt
for some
and Road
freedom.
Nation of New Delhi already committed $500 million to the charter bar port outside the Gulf of Hormuz, side of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. The port is significant for India, and it would provide new sea trading routes connectivity to Afghanistan, aiming to parallel China's growing presence in the region. Charter bar is located 140 kilometers from Pakistan's Gwadar port, and it's being developed with Chinese. It's being developed with Chinese help as part of the Belt and Road Initiative. So again, the Westerners don't get this. They think, you see, India's playing chess over here. They're going to do what's best for them, and they think, oh, Mattis gets up there because he read he read Socrates, and Mattis gets up there and he's like, talks about, oh, in globalization there are many belts and many roads. No. In the multipolar world, there is the whole new world, Sage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what we're up against, folks. I mean, in terms of the conversation that we have as far as getting prepared, getting ready, is that it's evolving quickly, but unfortunately here in the US we want to stay tied to all the politicizing, all the events, and not that those things aren't important, but Rogue wants to keep it in check. We want to bring information that is outside of the normal stream in terms of what is really happening geopolitically that has direct impact on us. And so now's the time. I mean, to start diversifying, and that's one of the reasons why the government and Trump is willing to run up the debt like crazy right now, because why not? When you can, if you can run up the US dollar and spend $10 trillion for infrastructure, would you rather do it while the dollar is at its current value or when it's devalued by 40 or 50%? So you tell me, would you rather spend that money now and knowing that at some point the debt's probably going to be wiped out?
Yeah.
But that's what we're up against, V, and that's reality.
Yep, absolutely. That is reality. With that being said, Siege, we're done, man. We'll
yeah, so we'll be back, I believe, at 1 p.m. I believe that Bix should be back in the US, so we'll be back at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Hump Day.
Yeah, all right, cool. Sounds good. And with that being said, we are over and out. Keep it subscribed here. Spread the love. Share with your friends. Let them know. This is it. You're not going to get information like this anywhere, period. You're not going to find the gorilla anywhere else. This is the home for the ape. And you want to know what the hell's going on, keep it locked over here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. You ever notice we always get that? We have like 50 thumbs up, and there's always that one person that puts a thumbs down. I don't want to know who that is.
I was posting in the chat room, and by the way, a quick shout out. There's always in our chat room some people that are always posting, always there first thing in the morning. Say, hey, first in, I'm here, and so just want to send a shout out because they're consistently. So Tom Manley, and I know it could be aliases. I don't blame you. And then also, let's see here, Cliff Martin. Cliff is always first one in the mornings. Always, has his coffee ready like we do, ready to go.
Yep.
And so, and there's more than that. I'm looking through the chat. There's just so many. So thank you guys for doing that, Eric, Martin. So shout out to you guys. We appreciate the love and support. Yeah. So I text in the chat room sometimes. So thumbs up, hose down.
Thumbs up, hose down. I love it. Yeah, with that being said, we're over and out. Take it away, buddy.